Sounds are a great way to set a mood or a sense of place in your visual novel. Emphasize an action, and give a voice to your characters.
I love jelly.
Not you.
It's so
In Ren'py,
good.
there are lots of ways to integrate sound in your visual novel, and one method in particular is seamless, so stick around to see what it is. But first, we're going to start with the basics. Ren'py comes with 4 audio channels by default: music, sound effects, voice, and the forbidden 4th channel audio. Each of these can have their volume adjusted independently, can be played in parallel, and have their own independent default settings. They can play Opus, Ogg Vorbis files, MP3, Wave, Flav, Horkaborka, Jupiter, pretty much anything. Audio clips in these channels, minus that forbidden one, can be manipulated using the play, cue, and stop statements. Play plays the track. Cue also plays the track, but it waits until the previous audio clip in that channel is finished playing before it begins. And stop stops playing the audio. Just type in one of these statements followed by the audio channel and then the location of that audio file in quotation marks. There are some clauses you can add to these statements. Add loop or no loop to make your audio track loop or only play once. Audio in the music channel loops by default, and sound effects and voice do not. You can use fade in on play and cue statements to make audio fade in, followed by the number of seconds you want to fade it in for. Similarly, with the stop statement, you can use fade out, followed by the time to make audio fade out. You can also set multiple audio tracks to the same statement. Just add brackets, then a comma, and a space between the different audio tracks you want to add to a statement. If you want to add some silence between these statements and quotations, you can add in angle brackets, silence, followed by the number of seconds you want silence, like this. You can also use the clause volume, followed by a number from 0.0 to 1.0 to change the relative volume of a sound from 0 to 100% of the maximum setting your user has set for your visual novel. Speaking of which, hey, so for some reason, Ren'py plays audio files like really loud. Like you'll grab an audio track and it sounds fine in your audio software, but bring it into Ren'py and it just blares out. There's complicated reasons as to why it's loud and complicated solutions to fix it, but the easiest thing is just to use this line of code right with the Python statements. So this code just automatically turns the volumes down to the user's preferences. Change the value from 0.0 to 1.0 until it sounds right to you. So that covers most of the basics of audio, but now let's get to the interesting stuff. Now let's say you wanted to play like 3 different sound effects at the same time while music is playing and a character is talking. This is a rare case where you might want to use the forbidden channel audio. Okay, maybe forbidden was a bit of a strong term for it. It's not that bad, it's just meant as a supplementary channel to the sound channel. You can play sounds in the audio channel, but you can't cue or stop it, and obviously you can't loop it. It's great for one-off sounds or effects, but not great if you need to loop more stuff together. For that, we're going to make some custom audio channels. You'll want to set the channel while you're initializing the Python code, so you'll use initialize Python before setting your channel. You're going to get very used to this line of code. Use renpy.music.register_channel, followed in parentheses by the name of your custom channel, and then with a comma, which of the 3 primary audio channels it'll base its audio off of. So let's say we have an audio channel just for trumpets, we'll call it trumpet, followed by the channel music. Now you can use cue trumpet and then the music file here to play some trumpet music in your music folder along with your bass track. And then once you start getting into multi-channel layered tracks, whoa boy, it gets really complicated, and this part's fun for me, but we need to discuss the elephant in the room. For a lot of visual novels, the biggest bulk of audio files in their game will be the VO. If you have a smallish visual novel, 30,000 words, with maybe a third of that being voiced lines, we're assuming a lot of first-person narration and dialogue here. And then each line of dialogue being on average 20 words long, that's 500 audio files, and 500 times you'll have to type play, voice, file extension before every line of dialogue, which a lot of visual novel developers do, which is crazy to me. I mean, I don't use a lot of VO in my games. You'd think there'd be some sort of like automatic feature or something that would like automatically assign like lines of dialogue to audio clips that would say the same thing. Well, there is. Under initialize Python, type in config.auto_voice equals, and then put the folder that the voice clips are going to be put in brackets id.ogg, or whatever file extension you're going to use. This looks through every audio file in the voice folder with the .ogg extension, or again, whatever audio format you decide to use. If you press Extract Dialogue on your Ren'py launcher on your project, Ren'py is going to parse through every line of dialogue, anything that is being said by a defined character or a narrator. After you press Extract Dialogue, select Tab Delimited Spreadsheet and click the Strip Text Tags option. Press Continue, and it will generate a file called dialog.tab to your base games directory, just outside of the game folder. Import that into a spreadsheet program like Excel or Google Sheets, and you'll see every line of dialogue has an associated code. These codes are created by seeing where each line of dialogue is located and then hashing that line of dialogue to automatically transcribe it into an 8-character identifier. Since the generated identifiers are based on the hash of the dialogue, the same line will always generate the same hash. If you have multiple copies of the exact same line, and I mean the exact punctuation and everything, each instance of that line after the first in that label will get another number added to the end of the identifier. Take the identifier and give the associated VO line that name, and Ren'py will automatically play the VO when you get to that line of dialogue. And just a reminder, dialog.tab is really only used to communicate to you what that hash is. Once you have that information, you don't need to re-import anything back into Ren'py to get it to work. Ren'py will automatically know how to associate the hash with that dialogue. And of course, if you have a line of dialogue that's used over and over again, like an exclamation, you can always still use the play voice statement to pull that particular line of audio. So pretty much anything that you want to do with sound in your visual novels, like with Ren'py, you can do it. So go crazy, make weird multi-tracked layering audio clips that play underneath a whole bunch of sound effects and stuff. Add as much VO as you, just way too much VO. Just go ahead and go nuts with it.
Oh no. I had too much jelly. IT is all over my strong pectoral muscles.
Don't include that guy in your game. Don't do that.